Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 7 of What If Naruto Was the God of Space, Time and Will. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out Anime King and Anime King 3 if you're new. Yes, that's correct. I indeed have 3 channels. Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3. Which I post what if on every single day. Yes, you heard that correctly. Every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and turn on that bell notification stay posted. So yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode start? The intro. So the last time we left off, before Naruto left the village, he left back specific orders for Kin and Haku to train. As he wished them luck, he then made his way. The time flew by rather quickly as a month passed by, as it was finally time for the Chunin exams. As everyone was psyched, a lot of people were there, a lot of unknown people as well, some more people in the Kage's booth. It turns out that people past from the Uzumaki clan was here, and that was confusing when Kushina heard that her father was here, as she didn't really understand how was that possible. People that were not supposed to be alive were here as well, and they were here to witness only one person, and that was none other than Naruto. So with that, he made his way down there after his name was called to face off against his younger sister Narumi. Narumi didn't have the Kyuubi's chakra, but she did have something special. 2 things special that was. She was able to use her father Harashin, not as fast, but she also possessed the eyes of God, the Rinnegan, but hers were slightly weaker, as they just had 4 circling both of them. It seems that they were not fully advanced yet. As her and Naruto started to fight, the fight started out calm at first, until she tried to push him to show him that he stood no chance against her. But Naruto laughed as he took all of her hits that destroyed the stadium, but he stepped out of it like it was a joke. The Kage and the others were shocked when Naruto's identity was revealed, as it turns out that he was the wolf. The wolf Anbu was that even fear. Despite her having the Rinnegan, the wolf Anbu was a legend, and for her to be fighting him, people were wondering was that fear. But, well, they were gonna fight same way. It was then that Naruto decided to show her real power, when he brought out his Rinnegan, shocking everyone to their core. He also possessed one. He put her in her place like she was nothing. Her attacks were meaningless to him, as he knocked away everything, not to mention he could utilize it more, as she couldn't turn her body into a machine like how he could, as she was destroyed. As she was taken to the infirmary afterwards, the family didn't know who to cheer for, as they just sat there quiet. The invasion started soon after, as chaos erupted, as Naruto had a vicious smile on his face as he started to butcher the opposing ninjas. But not only that, Orochimaru brought back several dead, as they started to face off against the others. As Minato faced off against the second, Kushina faced off against the first, A faced off against Sakamu, Onki faced off against a member of the Hidden Stone that long passed. With the explosion release, with a simple touch he could explode you to pieces. When he forcefully pushed out his chakra, Mei, Kenjin, and Raza they faced off against Hanzo the Salamander, and with teamwork they brought him down. The other Uzumaki faced off against Kimimaro, who didn't stand a chance as the other guards faced off against the 4 guardians that Orochimaru summoned. Orochimaru started to get rather pissed off as he realized the invasion was not going his way entirely, as his men were getting beat back, not to mention His reanimations were getting destroyed. The more it happened, the more pissed off he got. As Naruto was moving through, as he saw several of the girls that he had his eyes on. As they were fighting, their powers intrigued him a lot. But that wasn't what he was here for now. As he turned his sights on the Kage's boot, it was then that he leaped up there. Orochimaru decided it was best for him to flee right now. But, well, that was not gonna happen, as Naruto made sure of that. When he dropped down from the heaven like a bomb, he burst through the barrier, surprising Orochimaru as he completely shattered the barrier. He destroyed it like it was never even there. He crashed down in the center, ignoring everyone else, as his eyes locked with the snakes on him. It was time for him to die. Orochimaru, knowing that he will have to cut this boy apart, he pulled out the Kusanagi and shot forward as Naruto shot towards him. So yeah guys, that's basically that's what I left off. You guys game, switch across the bliss, check it out for yourself and enjoy guys. So yeah, remember to go ahead and check out the other channels, links will be down in the description, also turn on that bell notification to stay posted, and without further ado, what do you say we get right into it guys? Begin now. Orochimaru screamed out as a Raijin blade teared into his stomach. With a quick motion, Naruto pulled the blade, slicing Orochimaru's arm and grabbing the Kusanagi blade, before he drove it directly through the snake's shoulder, pinning him down to the ground. He then stomped on his face. Any last request? Go to hell, Orochimaru screamed out. I fully intend to. Heaven comes after hell, said Naruto, as he plunged his hand into Orochimaru's chest. He gripped onto something and started to pull. His hand was spectral, as he ripped Orochimaru's soul out of his body. He then used the Raijin blade as he stabbed it in man's chest, as he started to burn and incinerate the body. He then pulled out the blade of Kusanagi and sealed it in his arm. Hokage-sama, he said, they're still enemies. I suggest dealing with them quickly. Something else is coming. Something much bigger, he said, before he vanished. In the stadium was ruined. The walls were gone, as the attackers had been pushed back though. In the arena stood Killer Bee dealing with two last enemies. He stabbed one, dodged a fist, then he crushed the other one's throat. However, he had to move back as he was almost grabbed by someone. He turned to see the figure as it was none other than Naruto. Hello Killer Bee, said Naruto. Do me a favor and get the Hatsubi out here. Me and him have some unfinished business. As Naruto grinned, showing off his fangs. Killer Bee was no ordinary shinobi. He has faced many opponents in his life, along with his brother, as a perfect tag team. He had survived battles with the yellow flash of Konoha when he was only a teenager. Now he was a grown man capable of taking on S-rank ninjas with his perfect collaboration with the Eight Tails. But this guy in front of him was Naruto Uzumaki, the wolf. The man that was said to have unparalleled combat skills, who was able to take down 10 low S-rank ninjas by himself. And that was some years ago, so you could understand why Killer Bee had to take this cautiously. You have to be careful, Bee. He's ominously strong, the Hatsubi said. As Bee nodded, the Eight Tails wanted Bee to take this seriously, but when Naruto goes and say that he took Yujito Biju, well, Bee dropped into a rap stance. Yo, you're the one who took Yuji Kitten. Prepare yourself because you're about to be smitten. The rap was horrible. I have to fight this guy, Naruto thought, with a sweat drop. As Bee threw out his blades as Naruto pulled his Raijin, Bee held 7 blades all over his body. He charged them all with lightning chakra, showing excellent control. As Naruto moved forward as he had to stop, Killer Bee started to spin like a buzzsaw. Naruto had to constantly keep on stepping back because Bee was spinning so fast. There was no opening. What the hell? This style. I can't predict his move, Naruto thought as he flipped away. As he summoned 4 birds, he sent them all to 4 different angles. He then summoned the Kusanagi blade along with the Raijin, as he gripped the both of them tightly. Let's try once again, shall we? As Naruto used his twin swords, along with the bird eye view from the Rinnegan, as he could see everything around him at once. He dodged 3 blades that Bee lashed out at him simultaneously. B was incredibly fast as he brought another blade around, but Naruto twists as B hopped in the air. He spun so fast, it was like a bright blue gig of lightning. Naruto twists and blocked 4-blade attack, 2 on each of his blades. As he lashed out with a powerful kick, B twisted his body as he came down like a saw as Naruto removed his leg. He flipped away as B didn't even waste time. The moment his feet touched the ground, it broke as he shot forward with all the speed his legs could muster at that point, reaching Naruto within seconds. As he lashed out 5 blades at Naruto's stomach while Naruto was still in mid-air. As Naruto's feet did not even touch the ground yet. As Naruto blurred out of sight and appeared behind B. Now, as he drive both of his blades down, but they went right through a log. Naruto turned to see the real B behind him, as he noticed a gash on his ribs. He did hit him before. As Naruto flashed through a single handstand and release hot white flames as B dodged it, before launching 5 of his blades, raising a single hand as he had enough. Almighty push! The blades bounced back as Naruto sealed his blades before he turned his hand into a cannon and turned the blades into dust. As B threw another blade towards Naruto's skull, Naruto ducked. He then reached out and grabbed the handle before he stabbed the blade in the ground. B rushed towards him with his final blade as Naruto rushed towards him, summoning the Raijin in his hand. As they fought, sparks flying everywhere, but it was clear that Naruto had the most advantage, as cuts and scrapes appear all over B. As Naruto dodged a swing and slice. As B stepped back, his arm sliced. Not so tough without all your blades, no are we, said Naruto. As he clashed blades with B once again. Neither side could get an advantage. You fool, you can't beat me, said B. Because I float like a butterfly, and I sting like a bee. B winks in pain as Naruto turned his arm into a spear and drive it directly through B's ribs. Enough with your stupid rap, said Naruto. B chopped the spear, breaking it in half. He then slammed his elbow in Naruto's face, sending Naruto flying back. Naruto spinning in mid-air as he stopped in his tracks and landed on his feet softly. He charged at B as B threw a pencil towards him that was coated in lightning chakra. He dodged it as it split into the earth. He turned towards B. Really? He said. As B shrugged, Naruto brought all 4 birds down towards B. As B destroyed them. But once he was freed, he saw Naruto in front of him. An orb of black chakra in his palm. Eruption, said Naruto as the ball shot forward. A massive explosion went off right in the center. But it was not over as Naruto felt the power of the Haxabi. Meanwhile, the Chunin and Kage bodyguards are looking down at the fight. They were wondering why Naruto was fighting Killer B. Maybe he thought that Kuma was responsible for the attack. Maybe he felt offended by B. They didn't know what the hell was going on. As Kakashi felt the Haxabi's chakra, this was bad. They couldn't stay right here. We should get out of here. The Kage bodyguard should inform the Kages. I would personally inform the Hokage, Kakashi said. Asuma, Guy, Kurenai, form a perimeter and forbid anyone from entering the arena except for the Kages. They all disappeared to do what was asked, as Saito was the only one standing there. He took a puff of smoke then dropped the cigar. Don't die, kid, he said, before he vanished. Back down below, Killer B was in his version 2 form. His arms were crossed and smoking. He was surrounded by dark red, almost black chakra. He resembled a demonic bull with 8 tails waving behind him. As Naruto smirked, finally, I want to see how he goes. I don't want to fight him within his mindscape, he thought to himself. He then dashed towards Killer B, only for him to have to charge a giant bull spine. Time to die, you fool, said B. His voice was distorted. Not just yet, said Naruto as he poofed the Raijin right in his palm and blocked the spine before he twisted and drive it forward. But B was barely affected by it. He roared right in Naruto's face, a chakra blast that slammed directly into the blonde, throwing him backwards. Naruto stabbed the Kusanagi in the ground, slowing his descent, before he sealed the blade back away in his arm. Killer B appeared in front of him within a second, his hand cocked out. Lariat, he said, as he slammed Naruto into a wall. A massive explosion shot B out of the wall as he crashed back in the stadium. A frustrated Bee got up as he started to charge a Biju bomb as Naruto stepped out of the broken wall. He blasted the Biju bomb towards Naruto. Naruto planted both feet in the ground. Now that's dangerous, he said. Black light surrounded his hand as he pulled his fist back. Chakra torrent, he said. A massive blast of chakra collided with the tail beast bomb as the thing went up in an explosion. Bee arm was coated in a great energy as he shot forward as Naruto created a black Rasengan. The two techniques clashed, creating an onslaught of power. But Naruto had another plan up his sleeve as he created another Rasengan and drive it into Bee's chest. As the Rasengan exploded, Bee was thrown back as Naruto appeared behind him and kicked him straight up in the sky. His arm then switched into a canister with several holes on it. As Naruto slammed all the rockets into Bee, the entire sky was filled with a black ominous smoke as Bee was assaulted. Enough! A voice yelled as the massive 8 tails dropped. Boom! The entire stadium shook. The thing was big enough to almost fill the stadium as Naruto stood there looking up at the massive 8 tails. About time, Kage, said Naruto. The 8 tails looked down towards him. Why? As Naruto acted like he did not know. Why what? Kage growled. Why are you doing this? Why are you after the tail beasts? Are you a member of the Akatsuki? Naruto raised an eyebrow. The Akatsuki, he said. You don't know, Kage said. Fine, I will explain. The Akatsuki is an organization composed of S-rank ninjas. Their goal is to capture all the Jinchurikis and extract their Bijus. They were 10, but now it appeared to be 9 since Orochimaru was once a part of it. But it seems like he defected. I know this much through my Jinchuriki. As Naruto raised his eyebrow, even if they managed to extract the Bijus, where would they keep it? No matter. I bet they would be really pissed after this. Perhaps I'll give them a visit after this. For them to be able to go after Jinchurikis, like yourself, Roshi and Han, who has complete control. They would be a rather interesting challenge. As Kage looked at him, I answer your question, now tell me why. Why are you doing this? And who exactly are you? Kage said. As Naruto wiggled his finger. Now. Those are 2 questions. I am willing to answer the first one, if you can solve the riddle to the second one. I'll give you a hint. I am the one who was just 1 before, but I was split into 9. I am the ruler of those 9. I am the one that make the up and the down tremble in fear and awe. Who am I? Said Naruto. Kage was silent for a while until he muttered a no. No, he yelled. No! You cannot be that. The Shinju is dead. Have you forgotten the prophecy? Said Naruto. Kage growled in anger. It was never proven true. As Naruto's eyes looked at him as a pressure slammed on Kage. You know it's true. A dying god prophecy, let alone made by the one, god of will dying breath, is the most real prophecy that can be made. Its coming is unavoidable. Its very meaning is unalterable. Its result is unchangeable. I am the Lord of 9. And I give you a choice, Kage. A choice that regards your life. Swear loyalty to me. Give me your power willingly, and your Jinchuriki will not be harmed. You will live like how we lived before, and you will be fine as well. And if I refuse, Kage said. Pain, said Naruto. I see, said Kage. I am willing to succumb, only if you prove your power. He opened his mouth as he started to gather chakra. Prove to me that you're worthy of my chakra, Uzumaki Naruto. He formed an enormous tail beast bomb. The orb of chakra started to grow and grow, until it then compressed into a tiny orb like a golf ball. Kage didn't swallow it. His body expanded. Smoke came from his mouth as veins popped up all over him. So be it, said Naruto as he created 5 clones. Each of them formed a square around him, as one clone was in the square with him. As his clones formed a Rasengan, the middle Naruto added wind chakra. The clone to his right added water chakra, as the spear turned into a hollow rotating water circle. The clone to his other side added lightning chakra, as it turned into a sparkly tip. The other clone added fire, as it started to blaze. The last clone added earth, that backed the whole thing up in a spear of earth. As the real Naruto formed the hand sign, as everything meshed together in a perfect ball. As it floated up, right in front of Kage. Kage then released the massive beam of pure death that would have swallowed everything into nothing but dust. Forbidden technique, said Naruto. Elemental Rasengan Bolt. The techniques collided. Something happened that not even Kage was prepared for. The earth exploded around the Rasengan, releasing water and wind, while the fire expanded outwards, and the electricity came from the center and struck right into Kage's chest. As the rest of the combination, it just imploded in on itself. Kage screamed out in pain as he was hit with the full force of the technique. As the entire Konoha was bathed in a bright white light. Shockwave destroyed everything in a 5-block radius. Once the smoke and dust cleared down, and the light as well, the only thing that was left was Kage. All of his tails were blown off. His horns, he had none now. First he just had one, but now there was nothing there. Most of his skin was black. From a pile of rubble, it shifted as Naruto burst out of it, as he was coughing. Damn, their technique aftermath, rock, and suck at the same time. His pants were torn off, from the knees going down. His boots were burned off. His gloves and gauntlet were also gone. His shirt had already been incinerated, showing off his bare chest. It was a forbidden technique for a reason. A technique that unites the 5 S-rank jutsus. The 5 Rasengan. Firstly, the amount of chakra that he pumped into the 5 Rasengans were approximately 2 tails chakra. That meant if the Nibi used up all of his chakra, that is what it would create. Secondly, it required perfect chakra control. Otherwise, it would explode and blow up right in your face, which you wouldn't want. And 3, if he did not clash against Kage, the entire village would have exploded. The Biju bomb had taken away some of the power when Naruto let it implode. But if it wasn't for that, if he had dropped it in the center of the village, it could have wiped away the village. And not to mention, allowing it to implode like that cost him another 4 tail worth of chakra. It's a good thing that he was prepared for this. As he moved towards his stomach as a seal appeared, there was a poof, as 5 syringes of black, goldish liquid was inside. This is what he ordered Gato Council to make. A machine where you could extract your own chakra, transform it into liquid form, and put it into a syringe and take it whenever you wanted. He created not only for himself, but for people with special chakra, like the Uzumaki or the Shinju. Those people had powerful chakra, and normal chakra pills while restoring their chakra that wasn't fully compatible. This machine gave them fully capable chakra, as it also gave their body another boost, and sped up their blood and chakra recovery, and not to mention, a slow healing factor for about a minute. As Naruto plunged all 5 of them in his chest, feeling the return and boost of his chakra, Kage looked up. "My power is yours," he said, as he collapsed back down and broke into chakra. Naruto extended his hand as the chakra flew into him, as he closed his eyes relishing in a moment of peace and calm. But it was soon gone as he released a scream that spread all over Konoha. He opened his eyes, as they were pulsing red. His entire body started to turn red, veins started to pop up all over him. His hair turned all black and fused together, appearing like a black flame. Blood started to pour out of his eyes and his whisker marks, as his fangs became large. His muscle tissues were being ripped. His bones were cracking. Strange glowing tattoos appeared around his body as they started snapping in half. Multiple seals on his body broke. Weight seals, gravity seals, storage seals. The Kusanagi, followed by several other weapons, flew out of his body. A sword appeared in his body with 9 circles above it. Ink started to fall as they mixed with blood. All 9 circles started to glow ominously. The sky became pitch black. Black clouds that hide the sun as the place became dark. A level 9 earthquake shook Konoha. Hurricane surrounded Naruto as lightning continuously violently struck the ground around him. Naruto's entire body then caught on fire. The ink and blood evaporated as a black engine swirling around him grew stronger and stronger, as Naruto now looked like a zombie, his flesh burning, his skin and bones evaporating as he slowly levitated from the ground. His entire body got swallowed in a black, flame-like aura. Rain poured down out in the fire before several bolts of lightning struck him from the heavens. Meanwhile, within Konoha, the battle had been won. The shinobis were retreating from the assault. But the thing was not over yet, whatever this was. Earthquakes, thunders, houses were being broke apart. Chunin and Jonin are rushing around saving the injured. Putting out fires, the envoys rushed towards where the power was coming from. The Kages were at high speeds moving towards the arena. They were in the other side of the village, fighting summons that had escaped Jiraiya clutches when their bodyguards informed them of what happened. A, who wanted to save his brother, had moved off at 100%. Finally, the arena was in sight. They were dodging lightning bolts that were shooting down unexpectedly. The earth was cracking apart. Thunder rained. It was then that a black beam shot to the heavens, parting all the clouds. The strongest shockwave to ever be released was released right there and then. All Kages hit the ground rather roughly, as everything in a 10-block radius was blown away. Inside Naruto Mindscape, everything was in chaos. The throne room that he had met the Shinju in had crumbled. There was only debris around. The sky was black and tearing apart and cracking. Suddenly, the Shinju orb appeared in front of him, but it was half the size that it once was. "Shinju-sama, what is going on?" said Naruto. "Don't call me Shinju-sama. I am no longer that. If you want to call me something, you can call me Berserk. A fitting title because I was simply a beast, going berserk as a Jobe. From now on, you're the Shinju. But there's no need to use that name. I think Maelstrom is a nice name for a god." His tone sounded a bit sad, but there was a lot of pride in it. "What do you mean?" said Naruto. "I still haven't gotten the final part of your power, located in the 9th level of hell," said Naruto. "And you don't have to. To become the new Jobe, you needed all tail beasts inside of you, without a seal. And to become the Shinju, you needed my will. Now you have both." The orb then shifted into a tiny woman, as her entire body was glowing. As she kneeled, "All hail Naruto, the god of chaos." As a tear in the sky started to get bigger and bigger. "What's happening?" said Naruto. "Your mindscape was truly my mindscape, the throne room of a fallen god. Now, I am no longer a god. I am no longer a fallen one either. All that remains is the last amount of my power, taking form, that is speaking to you. However, this will be the last time I speak to you, before you take this power. Now your mindscape will become your real mindscape. I do not know how to look, but I have to inform you. As a god, your mindscape is your personal dimension. That means no demon, no angel, no human can enter it. Not even a normal god. Only beings that can freely move through dimension can access it. And they will have to get past your own defenses. You can enter it though and do whatever you want with it." As Naruto stood there surprised. "Wait, you said god of chaos? I thought you were the god of space, time, and will." She looked down. "I'm afraid you're not that just yet. Being the god of those things, you have to be the only god that can break the unbreakable laws. To be the god of gods. You are the creator of destroyers and the destroyers of creators. Only once you take my last part and you conquer heaven and hell, then you can carry that title." As Naruto had fire in his eyes. "So be it," he said. "Tell me, what is happening now? Know that I'm a god," he said. She was about to say, only for a large boy to appear and start to suck everything away. "We're out of time. Listen, Naruto. I have used the last of my power to seal a scroll with whatever you need to start out with as a god. Anything else you need, the Bijus can help, as you must start with hell. Once your mindscape changes and you leave it, you will become a god." "Goodbye," she said, as she was sucked in the void, and everything went white, as he couldn't see anything. Meanwhile in hell, everyone was in a frenzy. They all felt the new power. The 5 demon titans fell, the enormous power they summoned the meeting of the clan lords and the kings. At the 9th level, there was a slow rising army. "Long live the king!" "Long live the king," they all shouted. The symbol on the gate was an eye, a single eye that was glowing, as the place was trembling with power. In heaven, the place was in a frenzy, fights erupting everywhere. The 5 high gods summoned the other gods. There were Zeus, Odin, and all the powerful gods, as a small force was chanting, "All hail the tree! All hail the tree!" As a massive tree in the courtyard, with 10 branches that went all over, was glowing ominously. Back in Konoha, once the beam disappeared, there was only one man. As he was on his feet, he stood at 6 feet 4 inches. His muscular body was the ultimate union of speed, strength and power, and stamina. Everything was perfect, fitting for a god. Stomach, there was chiseling 8 packs, like it was made by a sculptor. To the rock-hard biceps and triceps, he had crimson blood-red hair, with black and golden streaks. As he slowly opened his eyes to reveal a blood-red pupil, 4 white rings were around it, and 9 tomo as well. His pupil was a bit slanted if you look at it closely, like a wolf. 3 whisker marks on his face. They were thick and wide, looking like a wolf. His pants were ripped. He was bare feet, as you could see his claws and his fangs as well. Naruto Uzumaki had become a god. It was at this moment the Kages arrived. All of them had different reactions. A was surprised but angry. Oniki had sweat on his face. Rasa had his eyes narrowed. Kenjin had his eyes widened, but they held wonder. Mei was looking Naruto up and down, as Hiruzen then kneel, confusing the other Kages. As Naruto focused on the others, "Kneel," he said. With a single word, a massive power fell on them. They instantly fell to the floor as Kenjin did so willingly. As Naruto smirked, "Very good," he said. "Now swear your loyalty to me. Surrender your village under my command, and I promise that you will live." Hiruzen nodded. "Konoha is yours, Kami-sama," he said. The other Kages turned towards him as he yelled, "He's no god, Hiruzen. Don't be delusional." Hiruzen snapped his gaze towards him. "He is a god, and you should speak with respect if you want to live." As Kenjin pulled out his blade and placed it to the ground, "The Uzumaki survivors and the wave are under your command, Naruto Dano." A growled with rage as he activated his chakra cloak at full power. "I refuse to believe this!" As he appeared in front of Naruto and drive his fist forward. A snapping sound could be heard as A fist snap, shocking everyone as Naruto moved. A gaping hole burst through A with a single thrust of his hand. Defiant all the way to the end. "Let it be known that the 4th Raikage died by lightning," said Naruto, as he sent him to the ear by lifting his index and middle finger. As he raised his hand, "Black Panther," he said. A panther appeared out of nowhere. The thing was massive. It roared and its skyrocketed to the sky, more like flying as it slammed into A. When it cleared, A was gone. As Naruto turned his gaze towards the others, Rasa and Oniki, wanting to protect their people, and not to mention they knew they were going to meet the same fate if they deny. "Our village is yours, Naruto Dano." As Naruto's gaze turned towards me, she smiled seductively. The power that was oozing off of him, it was affecting her. "My village and my life are in your hands, Naruto-sama." As Naruto smirked, "Good," he said. At that moment, Minato, Kushina, the Kage guards and many envoys arrived. Once they saw their Kages bowing, the shinobis all bow as well, except for Minato and Kushina. "Good," said Naruto. "You came at the right moment. It is time to pay for what you did." As he stepped forward, he raised his arm. Minato gasped as his body was lifted up, and he was being pulled towards Naruto. He tried to harass him away, but he could not. "You thought I would let you get away," said Naruto. "No. I have been waiting for this for a long time now." As he formed a Rasengan, as it had a black outline. "Be glad. I gave you a fitting death." by your own jutsu from your son's hand. Minato looked at him pleadingly. Why? Why are you doing this? For revenge, he said. Naruto shook his head. No. Punishment. As Naruto thrust the Rasengan forward, the thing expanded completely, obliterate Minato upper half, causing his lower half to collapse down to the ground. There was no coming back from that. Kushina dropped to her knees in tears. As she started to cry, Naruto approached her. Get up, he said. While you abandon family, the first of the Uzumaki teaching, your death will be fitting of a Uzumaki. If you so desire, take your kunai and attack me. Receive the death of a warrior. Stay there, and I will gladly kill you where you stand. She cried for Minato, until she looked up, her chakra chains coming out as she sent them towards him. Good, said Naruto. Her chains bounced off him like they were nothing, as black rods appeared out of nowhere. Their tips were sharp as they pierced right through her. She collapsed on the ground as he walked and stopped beside her. I'm sorry, she said, coughing up blood. He looked at her. He waved his hand as her head was sliced clean off. Forgiven, he said. A Rasengan drilled into his skull. A furious Jiraiya drilled the Rasengan until it exploded. Jiraiya cried out in pain as his left arm got torn off. His right leg got slashed up as he was thrown into the ground. Naruto turned towards him. Wait, Naruto Dano, grant me this favor. Let him live. I beg of you, Hiruzen said. Naruto looked at Hiruzen as he turned towards Jiraiya. So be it, he said. Get him out of my sight. As Hiruzen waved his hand as two envoys picked up Jiraiya and moved. From now on, Naruto said, his voice echoing over the entire place. You all work for me. Go against me and you will die. He then turned. Come to the Hokage's tower tomorrow, we shall discuss what to do with you. Has the monument been cleared of civilians? Naruto asked. Yes, Naruto Dano, a female voice said. He then raised his hand as a meteor dropped from the heavens as he lowered his hand and struck the monument completely, pulverizing it. He then started to laugh. At long last, this world is mine. Soon the rest will come, he said, as he roared to the heavens, shaking everything around him with his ungodly power. Time skip. Naruto sat in the Hokage's chair. His feet on the desk, he had changed his attire. He now wore black envelope pants with combat boots. For his torso, he was wearing a white shirt, long sleeve, with the Uzumaki crest on the back, and his personal symbol on the front. He also wore a black trench coat, with orange flames licking the bottom. On the back of the coat was a Rinnegan eye, with 9 tomos. His head had a headband, but it was his personal symbol, not Konoha's. There was a cigar in his mouth. To his right was a Hokage, to his left was Zabuza. Zabuza was wearing a full black bodysuit with red envo gear. His blade was behind him and he had his arms crossed. In front of him were the 4 remaining Kages and the former Jinchurikis. B. Yujito. Step forward, he said. If your brother wasn't so angry, he would have been alive, and Kumo would still have a Kage. Unfortunately, that isn't the case. However, we can fix that. B, from now on, you're the 5th Raikage. Congratulations. B looked at him, too shocked to say anything. A rapless thank you would be enough, said Naruto. As B nodded in gratitude, he then turned towards Yujito. Yujito, from now on, you will be the daimyo of the Lightning Country. Yujito looked at him shocked. But Naruto-sama, I'm young, inexperienced, and... That is my will, said Naruto. If anyone goes against you, you know how to contact me. I will personally end them all. As she nodded, thank you, Naruto-sama, she said. He then turned his head towards Rasa and Gaara. Both of you, step forward, he said. Rasa, you will keep your position as 4th Kazekage. However, Gaara, you will be the daimyo of Wind Country. Gaara looked towards him with widened eyes. Be a better daimyo than the last one. That is all I want, said Naruto. Gaara bowed his head. Thank you, Naruto-sama. as Reza bowed his head in thanks as well. Naruto then turned. "Oniki, Roshi," he said, as both of them got to their feet. "I also see no reason to take you away from Tishikage's position. However, I demand that you train a few people to become Tishikage in 3 years. No offense, but you're too old." Oniki frowned, but he nodded. He then turned towards Roshi. "And you, Roshi, you will become the daimyo of the Earth Country. Help the Earth Country to become prosperous." Roshi nodded his head. "Thank you, Naruto-sama," he said. "Me, Utsukata." As the both of them got up. "You will keep your position, me. You've done a wonderful job so far, and you got a lot more time to do more," he said, as Mei smiled. "Thank you, Naruto-dano," she said. He then turned. "Utsukata, you will be the daimyo of the Water Country. I know that you will do it well." Utsukata bowed. "Thank you, Naruto-sama." Kenshin. As Kenshin stepped up. "So from what Hiruzen said, you're my grandfather, and the first Namikage." Kenshin nodded. "Well, I see no reason to have you removed from your position." Kenshin nodded. "Thank you, Naruto-dano," he said. "Now all of you step forward." They did as they were told. "From when I was mortal, all of you sent marriage proposal towards me. Is that correct?" As they nodded. Hiruzen, who were they again? Hiruzen coughed. The Kazekage suggested Pakura, the hero of the sun. The Tishikage suggested his granddaughter, Kurasuke. If you remember, she was in the exams, Naruto-dano. The Raikage suggested Yujito. And the Mizukage, she was already betrothed to you, from your parents. As Naruto nodded. "I accept them all," he said, as Yujito and Mei blushed a bit at that. "All of the Kages out, except for Kenjin, B, and Hiruzen," said Naruto. They nodded as they left. 2 people were over to the side. As Naruto turned towards them, it was Han and Fu. "I got a special job for the both of you. However, it doesn't necessarily need the both of you. It definitely needs Han. But I give you, Fu, a choice. Do you want to take part in this project, or do you want to go to Take and take over as the Kage of Take?" Her eyes widened in surprise. She nodded instantly. "So be it," said Naruto. "Han, I want you to go to the location of the Sky Country and take it by force. I don't care how, just make it happen. Once you accomplish that, start recruiting men and get it as a working fortress. You can use the former members of Sky Country, as long as they're loyal." Han nodded. "Your word is my command," he said, as he called for the former Jinjulikis. He then raised his hand, as his hand was enveloped by black fire, as he created several orbs. Before he sent them out, all Jinjulikis got hit by the orbs. From now on, the abilities that you possess as a Jinjuliki, you possess them as a Kekkei Genkai. I have also doubled your chakra reserves. From this day forward, you are at the height of political power in your respective domains." They all kneel. "Thank you, Naruto-sama," they said. He nodded. "Now leave and inform the other Kages that he cannot leave for 3 days. Same go for everyone in this room as well as the village, unless I order otherwise." He then turned towards Kenjin. "Have a seat," he said. As Kenjin took a seat. "Tell me, how are you alive?" said Naruto, as Kenjin began his tale. It all begun during the siege of Uza. I was the successor to the Uza seat, until the Uzukage, my father, became too old. I was at the front lines, fighting the hordes of enemies. Shinju, a young man who just became a ninja, and Sato, my best friend, were alongside me. However, we were simply too few. For every 10 ninja we killed, 1 of our own died, while 20 more came at us. We were forced to retreat to the Uza Tower. All of the Uzumakis were too injured there, whether they were pregnant, or too old, or wounded. My father ordered me to take them, along with Shinju, Sato, and 10 of our elite warriors, and leave to ensure that our legacy survive. I wanted to fight, but Iko Uzumaki, son of Ashina Uzumaki, was a man who doesn't take no for answer. He ordered my friends to drag me to the escape boats, and they did so. Family go first and loyalty go second, and Iko knew how to mix those perfectly. My friends dragged me away, the 10 elites helping the Uzumakis. The remaining warriors and Iko sacrificed their life with a blast that eradicated himself and the remaining warriors on the island, taking them down with them. As the tower was buried under earth, I was angry at my father, but later I understood. I learned the price of being a leader. We went to the lands of samurais and seek refuge. They took us in, helped us, and we in turn show our gratitude, upgrading your armor with seals and weapons, and taught them various techniques to survive in harsh environments if they need it. Then we heard of you. We went to Wave and form a deal with Tazuna. Thus, we form a ninja village there. As Naruto was silent for a while, until he spoke. Is Uzu still salvageable? He asks. Yes, if you can get there. Another reason we went to Wave because it was a part of Uzu. Before there was a terrible earthquake that divided the lands, and the lands between were covered by water. And as I said before, my father buried the tower beneath the earth. The tower was a residence of the royal Uzu family. Inside the tower are all the techniques Uzu ever created: ninjutsu, fuinjutsu, taijutsu, kinjutsu. Fuinjutsu and kinjutsu is something I look forward to, but the others are irrelevant to me, said Naruto. Well, I see that you're a man who likes his blades. The Arashi blade is still around. As Naruto raised eyebrow. The Arashi blade? You mean the sword of element and storm? He asks. As Kage nodded. No one has used it thus far because it kills anyone that used it from shock or poison. As Naruto chuckled. Oh, this is perfect. The only thing I need in this human world is actually located in my ancestral home. We will go there in a week. As Kage nodded. As Naruto looked at him. What are your thoughts about me killing Minato and Kushina? He asks. Kenshin looked down. I don't care about that man. He means nothing to me. However, while I understand my daughter Uzumaki abandoned you, she is still my daughter. Thus I am heartbroken, he said, a few tears in his eyes, because of her death. So I beg of you, please, don't kill her daughters. What do you want me to do then? Marry them, said Kenshin. As Naruto raised his eyebrow. I can see right now you are no longer human. Your blood no longer resides as a human. You are a god, said Kenshin. So to keep the will of Uzumaki strong, I beg you, he said. Will it please you, said Naruto. I don't think anything can please me, but it will keep my head at peace. And it will also strengthen your ties with the Uzumakis. Since my people want Kushina daughters to live. As Naruto looked at the man. So be it, he said. That will be all. As Kenshin bowed and left. As Naruto got out of the chair and looked over Konoha. There's a lot need to be done. And he was also expecting a few people. Hiruzen. Call a meeting in 3 hours, he said. As Hiruzen nodded. But guys, to be in subscribe right here. If you want the next part and do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on the bell notifications to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, remember to stay tuned for the ritual coming your way. But I'm over now, see you guys soon. Peace.